instant texts, instant opinions. And with that comes something dangerous, instant reaction. Someone says something rude to us, we snap back. Someone questions us, we defend. Someone insults us and we burn with anger, sometimes without even realizing it. But here's what I've learned: the smartest people, the wisest, the strongest people, they don't react. They observe. Now, when I say they observe, I don't mean they're passive or scared. No. Observation is not weakness, it's strategy. It's like in chess, the beginner rushes. The master waits. He watches the opponent's move, understands the pattern, and then calmly makes the move that ends the game. In life, it's the same. When someone throws negativity at you, tries to provoke you, tries to get under your skin, that's their game. They're inviting you to play dirty with them, to roll in the mud of anger, gossip, blame. But the smart ones, they don't attend every argument they're invited to, because they understand one simple truth: not every bark needs a reply. Sometimes silence is the loudest response you can give. You see, reacting is emotional. It's instant. It's driven by ego. Someone says you're not good enough, you want to shout, how dare you? But think, why are they saying that in the first place? What are they trying to get from you? When you pause, when you observe, you shift the power. Now the toxic person doesn't know what to do. They expected fire, but you gave them ice. They wanted chaos, and you gave them calm. That confuses them. It unsettles them. You become unpredictable, and that's power. I remember in my early days when I was new to the film industry, there were people who said things, cutting things. He's too theatrical. He's not good looking enough. He'll fade in 2 years. I know the urge to react was strong. To argue, to defend, to prove them wrong right there, right then, but I didn't. I chose to observe, to learn, to understand not just what was being said, but why it was being said. And I realized most people don't speak from truth, they speak from their own limitations, their own fear, their own jealousy, their own pain. And when you understand that, you stop reacting to their words, because their opinion is not a reflection of your worth, it's a mirror of their own insecurity. You don't need to match their frequency. You don't need to dim your light because it hurts their eyes. So instead of reacting, observe, study, smile. When someone tries to pull you into a fight, take a breath. Watch how they move, how they speak, what triggers them. This doesn't mean you tolerate abuse, not at all. It means you respond with intelligence, not impulse. It means you save your energy for the battles that actually matter. Let me put it another way: when someone throws mud at you, don't throw it back. Don't get dirty. Stand tall, let the mud fall, and keep walking. The world will see who's walking clean and who's knee-deep in filth. Observation gives you time, and time gives you control. And when you're in control, you're powerful. In films, I've played characters who erupt: the intense lover, the angry hero. But in real life, real strength is quiet. Real intelligence is calm. Smart people can sit in chaos and still keep their inner peace intact, because they know storms pass. And the one who stands still, grounded, centered, is the one who survives and thrives. So the next time someone tries to poke you, provoke you, test your patience, don't take the bait. Let them perform their drama. Let them exhaust their act, and when the curtain falls, you'll still be standing, smiling, quiet, observing. Because smart people don't play small games with small minds. They play the long game, with big vision and bigger silence. And that, my friends, is how you win, not by reacting, but by rising. You know, in life we're taught to be kind, to be nice, to be liked. And that's good. Kindness is beautiful. But somewhere along the way, we confuse kindness with compliance. We start believing that saying no makes us rude, that distancing ourselves from toxic people makes us arrogant, and that choosing ourselves somehow makes us selfish. But let me tell you something I've learned, sometimes the hard way: you can't live your best life if you keep giving pieces of yourself to people who don't know your worth. Smart people, the ones who walk through storms and still look untouched, they understand this. They don't let guilt stop them from protecting their peace. They set boundaries and they don't apologize for it, because they know if you don't set the limits, people will keep pushing and pushing. Until one day you look in the mirror and you don't recognize the person staring back. You become someone who says yes when your heart is screaming no. Someone who shows up for everyone else and forgets to show up for themselves. Someone who's exhausted and still smiling, but the smile is breaking at the edges. I've seen it. I've felt it. In this industry and in life, there are people who will love you for what you can give them. Your time, your attention, your energy. And when you stop giving, they call you difficult. They call you distant. They say you've changed. And you know what? They're right. You have changed. Because growth changes you, pain changes you, clarity changes you. And the moment you start choosing your peace over their expectations, that's when you finally step into your power. Setting boundaries is not about building walls. It's about building doors that only open to the right people, at the right time, with the right intentions. It's saying I can love you and still say no. I can respect you and still walk away. I can care deeply and still protect my space fiercely. That's not cold. That's clear. You don't need to explain why you don't pick every call, why you don't respond to every message, why you don't attend every drama. You're not a robot programmed to please. You're a human being. You have limits. You have a soul. And if someone truly cares for you, they will understand your boundaries. They will honor them. And if they don't, then maybe they were only there for the access, not for you. There's a moment, quiet, powerful, when you stop shrinking to fit into rooms that were never built for your spirit. When you stop dimming your light so others can feel comfortable in the dark. And when that moment comes, you breathe differently. You walk differently. You speak from a place of strength, not survival. You stop explaining yourself. You stop defending your no. You stop feeling guilty for choosing rest over chaos. It took me years to learn this, and even longer to practice it. Because saying yes all the time makes you popular. But saying no with grace, that makes you powerful. Let me tell you something else. When you set boundaries, people will test you. Some will get angry. Some will walk away. Let them. Because the people who are meant to stay in your life, they will never be threatened by your growth. They will never be offended by your self-respect. They will clap when you rise, even if it means you rise away from them. And those who leave, well, they taught you what to never allow again. So don't be afraid to draw the line. To say, this is how close you can get to me. This is what I will not tolerate. This is where I protect my soul. And you don't need to justify it with long paragraphs. You don't need to wrap your boundary in sugar just to make it easier for someone else to swallow. Your peace doesn't need permission. It just needs a decision. So choose it, without guilt, without apology. Because when you finally start honoring your boundaries, you stop surviving other people's chaos and you start living your own truth. And trust me on this, that's when the real story begins. There's something beautiful in wanting to help people, to lift them, to heal them. We see someone in pain and our heart says, maybe I can fix this. Maybe with enough love, enough effort, enough sacrifice, they'll change. They'll be better. They'll come back. And so we try. We become their cheerleader, their therapist, their emotional punching bag all in one. We make excuses for their behavior. We stay up at night thinking how to make it work. We bend until we break. And even after breaking, we convince ourselves that it's love, that it's loyalty. But one day something shifts. Something inside you finally whispers, this is not mine to fix. Because here's the truth, smart people don't waste their lives trying to fix what someone else refuses to see as broken. They understand something most people take a lifetime to realize: you can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved. Not everyone wants healing. Not everyone is ready to grow. Some people are not lost, they're just comfortable in the chaos. And the more you try to pull them out, the deeper they pull you in. You can hold their hand, yes, but you can't walk the path for them. You can show the mirror, but you can't force them to look. You can pour your love, your time, your energy, but if the cup has holes, it will never be full. Smart people learn this, and when they do, they stop trying to be the hero in someone else's unfinished story. They stop carrying guilt for someone else's damage. They stop blaming themselves for not being enough to change someone. Because they understand healing is a choice, a deeply personal one. And unless that person chooses it for themselves, no amount of effort from your side will work. Now, I'm not saying you should stop caring. No, caring is a gift. Empathy is rare. But there is a difference between caring and carrying. Caring says, I'm here if you need me. Carrying says, let me suffer while you stay the same. One is healthy. The other is self-destruction in disguise. I've seen it happen. Friends who stayed in toxic relationships for years, thinking they could change him. Thinking if they just loved a little harder, sacrificed a little more, things would turn around. But life isn't a film where the toxic guy has a magical transformation in the last 5. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for someone is to let them face their own mirror. To step back, not out of cruelty, but out of clarity. To say, I believe in your ability to grow, but I will not destroy myself waiting for it. That takes courage. That takes maturity. That takes love, the kind of love that's rooted not in fear or control, but in truth. You are not a fixer. You are not a savior. You are not a solution to someone else's inner war. You are a person, and you deserve peace. So let them go not with hatred, but with grace. Wish them well. Hope they find their light. And then turn around and protect yours, because the people meant for you will not need to be rebuilt. They will meet you whole. They will grow with you. And they will never ask you to dim just so they can shine. Let go of what you cannot fix. and watch how much lighter your soul begins to feel. There's something people often miss